You know, I was thinking this morning about how many hands I have shaken of Democrats while living in the state of California. Now you might think, well, that's a weird question to think about, Brad, at like 4:30 in the morning. No, no, it's not. Because I keep seeing video after video of these crazies sticking their hands in their booty multiple times. And they're going far and wiping it all over Teslas. Now I'm thinking, this isn't the first time they've done something like this. You don't just all of a sudden go, I think I'm going to stick my hand in my booty and start rubbing it on things. You've been doing it for a while. And now I'm thinking, I might have shaken hands of Democrats that had their hand in their booties. I'm done. I'm done. A true story, by the way. It really messed me up this morning, I'll tell you. I'm not the same. I'm not the same man. Anyways, good morning, Patriots. It's good to see all of you. Oh, boy. Well, we're in some crazy times. Some crazy, but also good times. The crazies are still roaming around like it's the apocalypse, screaming at cars. I tell you. We used to say this all the time. I thought we hit rock bottom with the crazies, but now they're on the streets. I see them. I got to film them for you guys. Just screaming at Teslas as they're driving by. This Tesla person could agree with them. And they're going out and vandalizing other crazies. The crazies are eating the crazies. Good morning. Good morning, Patriots. Hit that like button if you can. It really does support the show. If you're new here, we do it each and every day, and you're about to see, when this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit. Let's jump into it. Speaking of some serious doo-doo and just smearing caca everywhere, you got Snow White. You got Snow White bombing. Now, no. Hey, Brad, you covered this yesterday. I did. Yes, you're correct. But it's just another way for me to say to the crazies, I told you so. Because Bradley went on TikTok. Bradley went on YouTube Shorts and posted the video of empty theaters ahead of time. And I said, no, come here. No, come here. What did I say? Crazies, not you Patriots. You guys aren't crazy. You know that. What did I say? Good. I said that it was going to bomb because they're empty theaters. And I've never seen anything like it. Well, here you go. Here's the numbers. Disney's woke Snow White is a total bomb so far. While the live-action remake of the 1937 animated classic was #1 at last weekend's box office, there ain't nothing playing, by the way, ain't that big of a deal. That's why they released it when they released it. The numbers it put up did little to make up for the movie's $270 million production budget. Folks, that's production. That doesn't include all the falafel that goes after that. They're going to need a break like, I'm going to be generous. I think I have more than this. $300 million. It's really probably closer to $400 million to break even, but it's here nor there. Early projections had them at 55. Now, just asking, did anybody yesterday remember me saying, I don't think they're going to hit those numbers? And I went like this, I could be wrong, and I'll eat my words. I said I didn't think it was going to make the 45-55 mark. I haven't read further. I could still be wrong. Instead, the movie starring Rachel Ziegler in the role and Gal Gadot as the evil queen. Oh, look at me, Brad, you little prophet, you. How much did it make? No. Come here. Just 1 second, folks. Let's get you in here. Let's get you in real close. How much does that say? That says 43 million for those who are on audio. Correctamundo, 43. Didn't even hit 45. I knew they wouldn't touch 45 because that's Donald Trump's number. They could never be 45. It's almost like we know what we're talking about here on the show, right? It's almost as if Brad might have been in the entertainment industry just slightly. Just dipping my little feetsies in like Joey in the beaches of Delaware. So it is it's a bomb. I mean, folks, you used to get these numbers on VHS. For comparison, Disney live action update of Mermaid hit 95 million. So this is doing half the numbers. We'll see if Disney wakes up to this. I don't think they will. I think slightly they're waking up to it, but they got no qualms with losing hundreds of millions of dollars. It is. I mean, how do you even pull that off? As a Disney, folks, just with the Disney name, people are going to go see it. Not this one, which shows you there's a cultural shift in the country. There's a big cultural shift in the country. And I still have my conspiracy theory with all the Democrats still wasting our money like it grows on trees. I think there was a massive money laundering scheme around this country to the tune of trillions. And I think this money was being dispersed in different ways under different mechanisms known as a woke agenda. And I think it was all fake. I think they were paying people off. I think they were paying companies off. I think they were doing all sorts of stuff to push a woke agenda. I could be wrong, and I'm more than happy to eat my words, but something ain't adding up here. All of a sudden, people don't like Disney movies. I mean, there's always this fringe crazy group. We just got done talking about them at the beginning of the show. These are the people that wipe their hands. It almost makes you not even want to touch anything because these people are roaming around digging in their booties. Remember how Tim Walz said that we were weird? Hasn't said anything about wiping doo-doo on Teslas from people's booties. You want to know why? Because they think that's normal. Crazy people think crazy things and doing crazy things, saying crazy things is normal. And then we're out here as the normies going, what the hell is wrong with you, you psycho? Get your crap off my car! People, they're losing it. They're losing it. We got updates here with Russia. Russia talks have begun in Saudi Arabia, while Ukraine trade charges of attacks on energy. So this is, I don't know what Ukraine is doing. I'll be honest. They're walking around like this. You haven't seen my shirt. Papa didn't raise no commie. That's what it says. Papa didn't raise no commie. I used to wear it to Disneyland. I'm not kidding, by the way. There's actually a story behind this shirt. I wore it to Disneyland. This guy's like, hey, where'd you get that shirt? I said, I got it from Louder Crowder Shop. He goes, oh, I need one of those. I'm like, yeah, you should check it out. Mind you, I'm being careful, right? Because it's Disneyland. I don't want to get kicked out. When they sniff out you're a conservative, they could find you. In the same way, if we sniff around, we can find the crazies because they smell like doo-doo. It says here the Trump administration. I almost spit out my coffee. I really tried so hard not to laugh there. The Trump administration is meeting with the Russian negotiators in Saudi Arabia after having met with Ukraine's defense minister over the weekend. On Sunday night, as their talks finished, it says here on X, we have concluded our meeting with the American team. The discussion was productive and focused. We addressed key points, including energy. Vladimir Zelensky's goal is to secure a just and lasting peace for our country and our people. And by extension, for all of Europe, we are working to make the goal a reality. I don't know why this really started under the Biden administration. I'm laser focused. And the Korean would come up, right? Sideshow Bob. He's laser focused. Are you not going to be focused in a meeting? Isn't that kind of obvious? Unbelievable. The Kremlin announced that the talks with the U.S. would center on the Black Sea Initiative and all aspects related to its renewal, including navigation safety. July 2022 Black Sea Grain Initiative permitted Ukraine to export grain, foodstuffs, and fertilizers from Odessa and from, another province. A joint coordination center was established in Istanbul to monitor the deal, which Russia terminated in 2023. So it looks like they're starting somewhere, which I think is a good thing to happen. Donald Trump's the art of the deal, baby. And the hardest part is just getting your foot in the door. And even with small things like this, it really does open people's hearts to want to do something more later on. And even if that's inching towards peace, something's better than nothing. And you want to know who gave everybody a lot of nothing, meaning Americans mostly, was Joe Biden. Now, I had to rephrase what I was going to say because it came into my mind. Well, Joey did a lot for really a lot of people. Yeah, he gave them trillions of dollars of our hard-earned money as if it was nothing. Just a phone call. Hey, sure. As long as you let me sniff some kids, I'm good. Just how much you need. Whatever. So just sending money off left and right. Like, you know, we used to get from our parents. What do you think money grows on trees? Well, it's paper, and sure, it kind of does grow on tree, Bobby. It kind of does. Jesus. Sometimes I think, you know, why do people watch this? what are people here for? Are you not entertained? I love you guys. Ukraine wants war because they don't care about their people. The president just wants more money for his Swiss bank account. There might be some truth to that. It says here, Trump slaps tariffs on all countries that buy oil from Venezuela. Trump is going hard in the paint. Here's countries, their faces, and Trump's going, just smacking them around. President Trump announced on Monday that any nation that purchases oil from Venezuela would be hit with a 25% tariff. Oh my God. We'll see if he follows through. Look, I'm a punch back here really quick. Trump could take it. He has a jaw of steel. You've been a little bit wish-washy on the tariff stuff, so we're going to see. I hope he does. Just bringing in the elbow. See, Trump just shadow box with his elbows. He doesn't even fight with his hands because he doesn't need to, because he's a man. He's a grizzly. Trump wrote on Truth Social that the secondary tariff on Venezuela is in response to the country's purposeful and deceitfully sending violent criminals to the United States. Love it. All for it, Trump. The Trump administration has begun deporting alleged violent Venezuelan illegal immigrants to El Salvador, where they are being held in a notorious prison. We showed footage of this prison, folks. They don't even have mattresses. Okay. They sleep on steel beams. And the crazies in America are complaining. They're taking to the streets about some other country's prison that's holding people that beheaded families and then cut their skulls and use them as soup bowls. You guys think I just make this stuff up? The crazies are crazy. They advocate on behalf of the criminals. Among the gangs they sent to the United States is Tren de Aragua, which has been given the designation of foreign terrorist organization. We are in the process of returning them to Venezuela. We're just taking them back home. I mean, what's the big deal? It's a big task. Absolutely, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. President. In addition, Venezuela has been very hostile to the United States and the freedoms which we espouse. Therefore, any country that purchases oil and or gas from Venezuela will be forced to pay a tariff of 25% in the United States on any trade they do with our country. Oh my gosh. I don't know how many people buy oil from Venezuela, but whoa. I'm telling you, if Trump really wants to move the bar here, you got to start siphoning funds from NATO. And just start calling our NATO allies. Hey, they want to be allies. They want our defense. Well, you're going to have to do a little bit more for us here. And the phone call is, hey, you know what? Look, I won't do 25% tariffs, but I am going to stop funding NATO. Not fully, just to whatever capacity money's going out of the door. We'll just remove from NATO. Hey, you'll be fine over there. Oh, we'll probably pull out of the Russia talks too. Yeah, that one, he goes into Poland. Hey, we're over here. What's the big deal? Yeah, no, we're over here. Oh, that's right. You guys are right on his doorstep, huh? That's a tough one. Well, it's an easy fix in my mind. Yeah, you just don't gotta buy oil from Venezuela. No oil. No, not even a drop. If I see a drop on those sticky hands of yours, Vlad, is all hell gonna be paid. Good morning. People are just coming and going, what the fuck did I just walk into? Let me wet my whistle here really quick. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that like button. Greatly appreciate you. And to be fair, some people are like, Brad, like, well, are you like this normally? No, not in real life, but for entertainment purposes, I am. And I'll be 100% sincere. If there was one person watching, they'd be getting the same show. They'd be getting the same energy, baby. The tariff is set to take an effect on April 2nd. So it looks like starting next week, we're going to have so much tariffing. You know, Trump used to be like, you're so much winning. There's going to be so much winning. You don't even know what you're going to do about it. We need to make sure it's so much tariffing. Because damn, dude. Trump has dubbed Liberation. I somehow missed this. Trump. Let me do it in his voice, please. Just give me this 30 seconds here. The tariff is set to go into effect on April 2nd, which Trump has dubbed Liberation Day. Get this in America, which is expected to announce large-scale reciprocal tariffs on American trade partners. Venezuela's oil exports rose from to 10.5 in 2024, which included shipments to the United States by major U.S. oil companies. Chevron, Reuters reported in January. Earlier this month, Trump issued a 30-day wind down for the license the United States government granted to Chevron in 2020. Wow, to export Venezuelan oil. Chevron will have until April 3rd to slow down its operation in South American country. Yes, yeah, there we go. Wow. Damn, dude, Trump is putting the work. I guess the top distributions for Venezuela exports are China, India, and Spain. So I'm sure it's something has a little bit to do with that as well. Not so much the India, but I know Trump wants to kind of push on China a little bit. And it's kind of a way for him to do it without like specifically calling out China, I suppose. We'll see what happens. But the Trump administration has been condemning the dictator, Nicolas Maduro, for claiming election victory last July, despite evidence pointing to Maduro losing the actual election in a landslide. So, but that's what happens. You're seeing socialism destroy countries, but Bernie Sanders is still getting thousands of crazies out. Hell yeah. It's so fascinating because there was a live feed going on of the Bernie Sanders AOC event where all the crazies were lined up waiting to go inside. And I said, it's kind of funny how these people are loving standing in line for Bernie Sanders, because I told them they'll also love standing in line for bread when Bernie Sanders is president. Bernie Sanders loves bread lines. Not my words, it's his words. I'm just regurgitating his words. Now, it's also here where tariffs, very strong work. Trump announced a $21 billion Hyundai investment in the United States. President Trump announced on Monday that South Korean auto manufacturer Hyundai will be investing $21 billion with a B in the United States over the next 4 years, starting with a steel plant in Louisiana that is expected to create nearly 1,500 jobs. You love to see it. Joey could never. Where was Joey doing all this stuff? Joey's like, let's just spend your money. It's just easier. I don't have to do anything. I get sleepy. This is great news. Now, right now, whenever anybody says some sort of investment over 4 years, I take it with a grain of salt until I actually see some things going on. So I'm going to reserve my happiness to the full scale it could be until I actually see this take place. The new Louisiana plant, Hyundai's first steel mill in the United States, will produce next generation steel for Hyundai's electric vehicles that will also be manufactured at 2 United States auto plants. Trump was joined by Hyundai chairman, and it looks like a bunch of other people like Steve Scalise. Looks like Mike Johnson's in the room as well. And, just if you want to take a guess, do you want to take a guess on which person in this room is representing Hyundai? Look, I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. I have my predictions. I think I know who in that picture might be with Hyundai. There's a clip here, but we don't need to see it. The investment is a clear demonstration that tariffs very strongly work, Trump said. And I hope other things also, but the tariffs are bringing them in at levels that will not be witnessed. What I'm speculating here, and I don't have any proof of this, just a heads up, but this is, like I said, my speculation, is that because Trump is imposing tariffs, that offsets things. It makes it more expensive for us here to utilize that good of whatever's being brought in, because the company that's bringing in the import is going to have to pay that tax. And to be fair, that tax does get passed down to us. I've always told you I'm going to be transparent with you guys. But let me explain, I think, why Trump is the reasoning behind what he's doing. Is because now it's a fair, it's not necessarily fair trade, but it's fair in the sense that it makes more sense for companies now to come here and start manufacturing, building things again, because it's not any cheaper than it would be doing it there necessarily. So that's my guess, is the utilization of tariffs is going to bring money and businesses back in the United States. And that's a big profit for us, because now that's a lot of tax money. You're not having to rely necessarily on other nations as much because it's built here. So this is a part of many variables, I think, going into the tariffs, but things are going to be more expensive, just a heads up. But the question is that do you want more expensive, or do you want to rely on places like China that want to go to war within the next few years or so? I personally would rather pay something more expensive. Now, it's easy for me to say, but I also handle my finances very, very frugally. And I follow Dave Ramsey, where other people, they're making six figures, living paycheck to paycheck. Now, there's people living paycheck to paycheck that don't make a lot of money either. But I would rather have, look, it's either you having little money or no money at all in the future. So. Yep, I don't understand why we can't start making our own products. Yeah, there you go. Well, because to be fair, I know what you're saying, CC, and I agree. To be fair, it's very, American labor is very, very expensive, and not just the American labor, right? The payroll taxes, the tax behind it, all the regulations and loopholes. And that was one thing that I haven't shared this in a few years. When you go audit a company, when I was a public accountant, usually they'll tour you around the place and they'll kind of walk you around the facility. And it's a cool way to like see, pretty cool manufacturing things. And you're walking around with the suits, right? The guys that work there, the higher ups, and they're trying to, I don't want to say woo you, but make you feel more comfortable because you're there to audit them. And what's interesting is you do get to see all the regulations. You get to hear about the red tape, and in this scenario that I'm kind of in my memory, there was a manifold that went on top of a huge plant. And, I said, hey, they were testing it out that day. And this is like 10 plus years ago. I said, what's the manufacturing cap on there? Like, what's the manifold doing? And he said, well, it's helping us limit the emissions out of the exhaust that's coming out of it. Mind you, this thing is massive. And so I said, oh, that's interesting. And he goes, yeah, it's a new regulation. And I said, well, how are you feeling about those regulations? He goes, it's just crippling us. He goes, I don't know if we're going to continue to go forward as much longer. And I said, do you think that if those regulations weren't in place, that you would still want to produce something like this? He said, absolutely. I want to produce something like this because I want everybody to have clean air. But when you're forcing that production, it's very expensive. And we would have done it anyways, but we would have done it in a more cost efficient manner that would have been spread out over a long period of time. And we still would have gotten to the end conclusion. So furthermore, you get to see as well how expensive it is to manufacture goods here in the United States. And, it's going to sound bad, but it's kind of what I would always hound that I see here in California, where they're paying like $25 to scoop food onto a plate at like Panda Express. That's not an exaggeration, by the way. I'm not making that up. We'll say $20 for everybody that everybody's like, oh, you come on, no, it's 20. Whatever. Sure. $20 to take a ladle. I'm going to act it out. Here's my plate. Okay. Elgato. Here's my ladle. 25 an hour. 25 an hour. Folks, that's not even $10 an hour in my opinion. Gotta have a living wage. This is my career. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole really quick, folks, and I hope you're okay with this. It is mind-blowing to me that you're getting paid $20 an hour, and you think you should be getting paid as much as a fucking accountant and lawyer in some cases. That's not exact. I'm dead. I'm a serious freaking heart attack. If you think you scooping food onto a plate and you should be living the same lifestyle as a lawyer, as an accountant, as somebody that's managing $100 million businesses, you're crazy. I know there's patriots in the chat that agree with the fact that you should be getting paid $20 an hour. I'm sorry, somebody got to tell you, you're crazy, baby. You crazy. Because that don't make no damn sense to me. So The top is staying here. The bottom's coming up because people think that they can live great, lavish lifestyles by working at Panda Express. Whatever. That's the world that we live in now. There was big news yesterday, bombshell news, and I'm refraining from saying if it's legit or not. The White House acknowledges journalist was inadvertently added to high-level chat on Houthi strikes. A journalist was allegedly in a chat where they were talking about bombing some places. This I was excited to get into. Before we jump into the article itself, though, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're over at Rumble, follow us over there. We're trying to make big splashes. We're trying to grow here, and your help and support would be greatly appreciated. So smash the like button, the thumbs up, this looking thing. Here we go. Double buckle up, folks. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. A journalist known for his critical pieces on President Donald Trump was inadvertently added to a national security group chat in which Trump's top officials discussed airstrikes in Yemen. The White House confirmed on Monday morning. I guess it is legit. This appears to be an authentic message chain, and we're reviewing how an inadvertent number was added to the chain. Yeah, how do you put in a journalist? I mean, how does that happen? The thread is a demonstration of the deep and thoughtful policy coordination between senior officials. This is, look, I can't speak for the ladies, but I know the guys in our group chats, we say some really funny and messed up stuff. And then it's like as if you got caught by the wives or by, the work or whatever. And this is exactly how you would respond, right? You get done talking some massive shit, the funniest email chain you've ever seen in your life. And this is how you respond to HR. Well, the thread is a demonstration of the deep and thoughtful policy coordination between, the senior officials. That's exactly how you would do it. Oh, I love it. The ongoing success of the Houthi operation demonstrates that there were no threats to troops or national security. The Atlantic editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, who, by the way, is a very well-known journalist, somehow got included in the chat. I find that a little odd. Published a story Monday morning alleging that he was added to the chat that included Vice President J.D. Vance, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and other members of the Trump's inner circle on March 15th, as the national security team deliberated launching airstrikes on the Houthis. Now, what chat is this and what service did they utilize? I mean, you wouldn't be talking about stuff like that over just normal text messages. It's almost like, I want to say like Biden used, what was it, like Signal or something to talk about governmental affairs. I will find out here. A user bearing the name Michael Waltz added Goldberg as a Signal connection a few days before he was added to a chat titled Houthi PC Small Group. Goldberg says that he was not sure whether the Signal chat were actual members of the Trump administration, and he writes that he remained in the chat and observed the conversations that took place over the next several days. Goldberg spent the next few days watching as Vance, Hegseth, Waltz, and others discussed the president, the airstrikes, international diplomacy, and more. It's noteworthy. It's one noteworthy exchange. The account labeled JD Vance messaged the rest of the group, "Team, I'm out for the day doing an economic event in Michigan, but I think we are making a mistake. 3% of U.S. trade runs through the Suez. I think he's talking about the Suez Canal. 40% of the European trade does. There is a risk that the public doesn't understand this or why it's necessary. The strongest reason to do this is, as POTUS said, to send a message." I don't know. It just seems really fishy to me. It really does. And I'm not sure what to believe. And I know Hegseth did address it, and I want to see, I thought I posted on X, and that's kind of like my go-to. If you're not following me over there, try to check that out if you could. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's legit? Let's get into the chat a little bit here. Do you guys think the Pete Hegseth, JD Vance, the chat is legit? We have it here. I don't think Secretary of Defense Hegseth sent that text out accidentally. I think it was an accidental text on purpose so that they could let the EU know what they really think of them. Clearly it worked. Maybe. So I don't know, man. This doesn't sound legit. Doing this shit over text message? Look, maybe. Democrats are calling on Hegseth to resign as the Secretary of Defense. Oh, come on. Give me a freaking break. The crazies are coming out, folks. The crazies are truly coming out. I wanted to see if we had anything here with it, but it looks like we don't. But there was a video clip out there. He's just basically saying it's being investigated. It's probably not true. I've had messages from work meant for another mic. Just let the person know it's the wrong person. Yeah, I don't even know if they knew that the guy was in the chat. Are they trying to find a leaker? Maybe. I have no idea. But you got that going on, and then you also have Democrats still wanting to waste our money. Now, this is not just happening on a federal level. It's happening on a state level, too. In the state of California, Gavin Newsom, and we'll get to it a little bit later here, Gavin Newsom is paying for illegal immigrants' medical bills, meaning we are, and he's asking for like $3 billion. Folks, he has spent, I think it's 12.2 billion with a B on illegal immigration. I think the number was, and maybe somebody could check this for me. I'm really pulling this out of my head. 50% of illegal aliens allegedly live in the state of California. Now, I can't remember where I got that from, but I believe it's 50% of illegal immigrants live in the state of California. So we have a quarter of the homeless population. We have half of the legal immigrants. And then people wonder why businesses are boarding up here in this state. And then people are wondering, man, why do our roads suck? Why don't we have any money? How are we in a deficit? The crazies are crazy and they can't think correctly. This is why they start doing primitive stuff like digging in their pants, putting their hand in their booty and wiping it on Teslas. That's primitive. That is somebody that is animalistic, that are able to reason and rationalize. And that's why they go out and start barking at cars like animals do. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? It kind of scare the crap out of you, too, if you're walking by. Well, here you go. Musk is revealing more shocking cases of fraud found at Small Business Administration, SBA. Elon Musk, the world's most successful businessman and President Donald Trump's top White House advisor, said this week that the government efficiency, DOGE, has uncovered shocking cases of fraud within the federal government. Musk made the remarks during a Monday meeting with the president and his cabinet secretaries. Quote, one case of fraud was with the Small Business Administration, where, get this, they were handing out loans, listen carefully, handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans. Now, right now, it doesn't seem so bad. You're like, what's the big deal? It's some loans. To people under the age of 11, Musk said. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precious baby we're talking about here, Musk quipped. We got that right here. It's a short clip.
Well, a clear case of fraud was with the Small Business Administration, where they were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
Oh, was it precocious and not precious? My bad.
We're tackling.
Oh, come on. Elon, get out of the White House and make X great again and stop working. It always does that to us, right? It's a fresh. I reserve and I hold off to like a freshly loaded page and it still does that.
We're tackling the fraud, waste, and abuse in the agency. We've seen
Who the hell's this camera guy?
Hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud go unprosecuted.
Who's that?
So we're taking that on. We have a zero tolerance policy for fraud, and we continue to crack down on it and make sure people are held accountable.
And you have a lot of that. You found far too much of it. It's a pure fraud. We like to use the words waste and abuse because they sort of sound good, but many of these things are pure fraud.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild, though? Yeah, what the heck? Exactly. Exactly. And there was a clip a while ago of an individual that was doing an interview. He actually follows me on TikTok. He works for Fox News, and he was going around talking to Democrats and some crazies about the waste and fraud. And let me see if I can find it. And they were saying that, oh, well, it's not waste and fraud. Oh, it's fine. Like, well, what do you classify as waste? And then we just get into that stupid whole thing. So I don't think I can find it here. I'm trying to find, there's a specific person, I forgot his name, but anywho, not able to find it. But you know, that's the way the thing goes. I know, but I could still say that people are pretty. It's okay. It's like the same way as like, you know, there's men that are handsome. It's okay. There's always going to be beautiful people out there. We got to acknowledge them. We have to acknowledge them. Speaking of that, you know, we might as well get into this now. You kind of let me pull this open for you guys. now you got me on a tangent here. Hold on a second. No. Because we got to call out beautiful people. And if you don't, you're racist.
As white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower, even when we're following the diet, than our white women counterparts. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same diets as white women.
Dieting is racist. If you're gaining weight, it's racist or not racist or losing, hell, I don't know anymore. Milk is racist. Band-Aids are racist. Diets are racist. We did an episode a while ago where exercising is racist. I always got something queued up for the chat. You know what I'm saying? I always got something going. Daddy always is prepared. Speaking of people going, new resolution would allow Trump to use full force of the military against cartels. Thank you. Oh, God. It's not even December yet. I almost looked at my watch. My watch isn't even on. Ah! My watch isn't even on. Can you believe it? It's not the same. I knew something was off. I didn't feel grounded. I didn't feel the chi. I didn't feel connected. This is what happens when you live in California. It starts washing off on you. You know what I mean? Speaking of spooky, that Elmo episode was creepy. Yeah, thank you. Check out Spooky Adventures, folks. It's our second channel. We're growing it. It's fun. Has nothing to do with politics. A new congressional resolution would allow President Donald Trump to use the full force of the American military to combat 9 different Mexican drug cartels and criminal organizations. Oh, baby. The resolution from this representative of Florida, of course, everything great's coming out of Florida nowadays, charges that the criminal groups have violated the territorial integrity of the United States and now represent a clear and evident danger to Americans until such time that the Mexican government finally steps up and squashes the drug cartels, because they're not willing to do it, they're just allowing them to thrive, who uses Mexico as their home base. Congress must give President and Secretary Hegseth the green light to take a sledgehammer to these criminal networks and their supply chains. My joint resolution will authorize the Trump administration to use the full force of the American military against the 9 largest drug cartels operating out of Mexico. The resolution asserts that the criminal organizations, including MS-13 and Tren de Aragua, present an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States. 100% agree. Now, what are the crazies going to do? The crazies are going to go out and advocate for MS-13 and violent gang members. Now, no. That's exactly what they're going to do. I live here. I see it with my own eyes. They're on the street. They will be out there in about 3 hours. It's too early for them. They still need their nappy. They still need to sleepy. While the rest of us are working, they're out barking at cars and wiping their caca hands on everything. It is the policy of the United States to ensure the total elimination of these organizations' presence in the United States and their ability to threaten the territory, safety, and security of the United States through their extraterritorial command and other control structures, thereby protecting the American people and the territorial integrity of the United States. Thank you. I did it. So we'll see. This, I guess this lets them kind of go in and just do whatever they want and run roughshod over them, which I am fully for. Democrats and the crazies are not. They love this stuff. They absolutely love it. Yeah, in the same way they love the illegal immigration that's going on. It's tearing their cities apart. People are being raped and murdered and freaking destroyed. They're being assaulted. They're being having their stuff stolen. I mean, hell, it doesn't even have to be robbery. They're having their taxpayer dollars stolen. In some cases, they're receiving taxpayer dollars and they're sending it back to their home country. That's just money gone, by the way. That's not money reinvested back into the economy. That's just money gone. Speaking of illegal immigration, Homan does indeed bring hell to Boston. Much more to do, but it will be done. He keeps saying this quote. How many times have we seen this? Well, we're not doing enough. We need to do more, but it will be done. He needs to understand that it only goes on so long. And this is the same shenanigans that the Biden administration pulled when we were dealing with basically anything. It could be gas prices, food, oil, energy, foreign policy. It didn't matter what it was. It was, we need to do more. You just need to trust us and give us more time. At some point, people are going to be fed up, Tom, and we want to see more. You came out guns blazing for a long time, going, I'm going to remove everybody. I'm going door to door. Shit's going to be crazy. I'm not really seeing much, folks. And you should be worried because the Democrats are talking about, well, it's not feasible to get rid of 24 million people, which we said was true. That is true. You're not going to get rid of 24 million illegal aliens. So what do they want to do? They want to start talking about a pathway to amnesty and giving these people the right to be here, or at the very least, giving them work visas and permits, which is also another step towards amnesty, in my opinion. What's the problem with that? Who do you think they're going to vote for? You won't have a Republican president probably for the rest of your lifetime. Just a heads up. And by the way, screw everybody else that came here legally, did the right thing. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, screw those people. That's just typical. After saying he would go to Boston, bringing hell with me, after the Boston police commissioner said he would not aid ICE in finding illegal immigrants, Border Czar Tom Homan was accused of lying about the city by its Democrat mayor, Michelle Wu, like we're going to believe her. On Monday, Homan reported that he had made good on his promise and led a team that reportedly found 370 illegal aliens in Boston and surrounding areas, with a majority being significant criminals. On February the 16th, Democrat appointed Boston police commissioner Michael Cox. I'm a little immature. Echoed Wu, who had promised resistance to the deportations enforced by the Trump administration. Cox said Boston police officers don't have authority to enforce federal immigration law. Why not? Why not? When asked if the perspective countered federal immigration law, Cox said the Boston Police Department has pretty defined rules and abides by state law. Speaking of CPAC on February 22nd, Homan said he would go to Boston while quoting Kurt Russell from Tombstone. So we're not going to play that because YouTube is just going to flag us and we get our stuff removed. But we'll see. We'll see. So he says a lot of things. I'll be honest. I'm not quite sure what to believe with Homan right now. I do want to give him more time. It's only been 2 months. I will give him upwards of a year to start making some big changes. But if he doesn't, then it's just another reed in the wind to me. And I really don't like that. I would rather you be more reserved and under promise and over deliver. Right now, when I say he over promised, it's not even in the same solar system in terms of promises and the way that he's delivering. He is under delivering way more. Folks, maybe I was an idiot. Maybe I was wrong. I was expecting like 10,000 people a day. I'm not kidding, by the way. The way he was talking was like 10,000 from all, we're using the military. We're going full force. We're going to be using C-747s, right? We're going to start using Boeing 747 Max. We're just going to start just planes everywhere. Just so many planes. But don't worry, Massachusetts has it together, folks. You want to know why we got to get these people out of here? And this is mostly for the crazies out there. Because they're raping your kids. But Democrats love messing with children. The crazies love messing with children. Now we see it all the time with the trans stuff. So sanctuary state, Massachusetts, releases illegal migrants accused of what? What were they accused of? Raping kids. The defiant sanctuary state of Massachusetts recently dumped several illegal immigrants accused of raping kids back into the community while refusing to hold them for ICE, and the Trump administration is now targeting the area for mass deportation raids. Look, I don't know if anybody's on my side here when I say the crazies love this stuff, but how many times have we covered this over the last 4 years? Me showing you proof, weekly, by the way, weekly, proof after proof after proof that they say, oh, I don't want people raping kids. I don't want people murdering others. And then they do stuff like this. And this is almost a daily occurrence, by the way. We'll be generous. This is a weekly occurrence, allowing people to go out into the community, rob you, hold you at gunpoint, murder your family, rape your kids, sell drugs to your kids in community so they die of fentanyl. All this stuff. The crazies love it. And remember, we're doing new lingo here. We're calling them crazies because that's what they need to be referred to as. They're not normies. They're not normal. Since 2017, did I scroll way down? Since 2017, controversial state policies have barred Massachusetts authorities from holding illegal migrants accused criminals in local jails solely based on ICE detainers. The situation prompted President Trump's border czar Tom Homan to set sights on the region. He announced Monday the federal immigration agents conducted a raid last week and resulted in the arrest of 270 illegal immigrants, which is what was just referred to in the previous articles, most of whom he described as significant criminals. Well, I think raping somebody is a pretty significant crime, I would say so, but not to the crazies, it's not. It's just another day in the life. There are several recent disturbing examples of illegal immigrant alleged rapists being freed on extremely low bail amounts set by Massachusetts courts. I'm surprised they even have a bail at all. The state of California has no cash bail. So that's why you get half of them here, because they could just perform whatever crazy acts they want and just run around the streets and do it again. Wow, they let me out. This is fun. People are nuts. Freaking nuts. Once the suspects make bail, local cops can't hold the alleged sickos on their illegal immigration status. So unless ICE agents get to the jail first, the accused criminals are set free. This county sheriff, Lewis, said he decried the flawed process. It's very frustrating for me to know I might have a drug trafficker or a violent offender getting bailed out of here, and I call ICE and they're like, we're busy with a couple situations. We can't get there for a few hours. I can't hold them. This is a sheriff, by the way. Hey, I got a guy that was caught in the middle of raping and killing people. Can you come pick him up? Nope. Sorry, we're busy. We're busy getting all the others. Oh, we got more. Jesus, we got more. Jail recently held 2 inmates charged with child rape who were given measly $500 bail amounts. That's what it's worth. That's what your child's worth, by the way. $500. Got raped. $500. Now, innocent until proven guilty. Because anybody could shout that they were raped, right? We've seen that a bunch of times with women. They were raped. They were never touched. Like the most famous one is the Duke lacrosse guys. Y'all remember that? Destroyed their entire lives and completely fabricated and lied about it. But remember, believe all women. Hashtag believe all women. Because there's not crazy women out there. In the same way, there's crazy guys. Obviously, there's crazy guys. We're talking about guys raping freaking people. Of course they're crazy. We all know that. But there's also crazy women. Oh, they're crazy. They're so crazy. They're so crazy. I mean, they're out barking at Teslas. Of course they're crazy. If you notice, I'm bringing that up all the time because we were told that we were weird. And look, I'm a little weird, I'll admit, but I ain't barking at Teslas. Most people would not think that's an appropriate bail. Correct. But sir, you have crazies living in your state, as do I. Not normies, not normal functioning people. These are people with Trump derangement syndrome. These are people that like crime and trafficking. At some point, you have to understand that. Not you patriots, you get it. But even Democrats, folks, it's your party that loves this stuff. It's not Republicans and conservatives. We don't want you touching our kids. We don't want you doing anything with our kids. Especially this. I mean, you allow illegal immigrants to go after them. Freaking bonkers, man. Really bonkers stuff. So here's Kathy Hochul in another state, meaning New York City, where she's standing against mass deportations. Governor Kathy Hochul of New York has declared that the New York State Police will not cooperate with ICE in deportations. So you might go, well, Brad, the theme today is Democrats still wasting America's money like no other. Yes. Billions of dollars gone. Billions.
And allow this mass deportation where we will cooperate. And I did this even under the Biden administration. If you have a warrant or you know someone's on a terrorism watch list or committing crimes in their home country or committing crimes here, that's a different category. And I will help you with those to protect everyone, whether they're newly arriving New Yorkers or whether they've lived here their entire lives. So that's real clear to me. But don't bleed over into going to schools and sensitive places. So our state policy, our state law does not allow for our state.
Because there's no gang members in schools, you guys. Remember that one. There's no gang members in schools. That shouldn't be here. Oh, yeah. No, they're just normal students.
Police to be involved in those situations. Now, what we have are some renegade counties in New York, because individual counties can sign a pact with ICE, and we have a lot of them, some on Long Island, some in upstate New York, where there's different political views. They are cooperating with their local police departments, but what I control is the state police, and they will not cooperate in that. We're not going to allow.
Don't you love how she says, oh, well, I'll cooperate with them if they're doing this or that? No, you won't. You guys are complaining about Trump getting rid of violent gang members that are trafficking kids and people. He's getting rid of violent gang members that are raping children. And you all are complaining about it. Don't give me this shit that you're like, oh, well, I'll help you with they're violent and that they're doing crazy things. No, you won't. They're fucking, we just got done talking about Massachusetts. I don't understand. She's New York. Massachusetts not even willing to hold people on $500. Oh, they can't go in the schools. It's a safe place. Really? Because teachers are being assaulted and abused every single day. It's not really safe, in my opinion. Teachers every day across the country are being physically assaulted across the country. I've always said this. It's the worst silent epidemic out there, not just for the kids that they don't know anything, but also the teachers that are being abused verbally. How many of you get to go in your corporate office and get to just abuse people free willy-nilly? Not many. I'm surprised there's not more lawsuits happening around the country with the human resources department of the district, with the amount of abuse that teachers are getting from teenagers. But remember, they're all golden children. Yeah, no, not a single one of them could possibly be a gang member. Not a single one of them could be working with Tren de Aragua or MS-13 or anything like that, or the local gang communities. They're just there to get an education. Got flat Fs, haven't turned in any of the assignments, but no, they're there. They're getting a quality education, folks. You can't look into any of it. God forbid. Some of them are violent. Not all of them. Not all of them. Let's see here. Let's get to some other news. Here's some big news here. Kind of going through what I got left here. Israel eliminates dozens of top Hamas leaders following ceasefire collapse. I mean, just eliminated. And what are the crazies saying? How do you know they were terrorists? Right, that's the question now. How do you know? I don't know. The suicide bomb kind of gave it away. Him shouting Akla Akbar or whatever the fuck they shout. Right, with the thing. With the bomb. Oh my God, I'm making a mess. With the bomb detonator. Allah Akbar. Right? And the thing's like clicking it. It's not working because they didn't fuse it correctly. Maybe that was the dead giveaway. No pun intended. That was a joke, okay, for the crazies out there. It was partially a joke. I mean, there's definitely some truth to it, but they don't understand that they don't. You have to say stuff like that because they don't understand satire and they don't like comedy. Well, that was a little bit too far. That was kind of grotesque. You know, these people had families, they had children. They're just trying to make Gaza great again. Yeah, okay. Oh, sure. Yeah, you go with that thinking. You go roam around, be crazy. Just leave me alone. You go be crazy all you want. Go yell at a Tesla, you fucking idiot. Israel eliminated more than a dozen Hamas leaders in the week after the Israel Defense Forces resumed airstrikes and ground operations following the collapse of the ceasefire. Many experts speculate that Israel was able to use the 2-month ceasefire as an opportunity to gather intelligence about the whereabouts of Hamas leaders. Many of those killed were key to maintaining Hamas's control over Gaza's population beyond just its militant operations. This signals Israel's determination to dismantle both the group's political and military grip on territory. Now, I have no skin in the game, I am all for terrorists dying. I am not for civilians dying. And I know there's been a lot of civilians out there, both women and children and men, that have been just brutally murdered by Israel. And I don't know if it's on purpose or not. I'm sure there's mistakes, and I'm sure, honestly, some of them were on purpose. And it's freaking terrible. It's not okay. It's not. And I think it's important to call out those types of things. Now, I do like Israel, but I know Israel has done some atrocities before. I mean, to be fair, so has many other countries. But that's when you say things like that, it's almost like a cop out for Israel. And it's just a terrible, obviously, situation for both sides. So hopefully there could be peace over there. I would love for them to coexist. That's not going to happen, but I could still hope. It's always something. It's always worth a prayer. You know what I mean? At least you prayed for it and you tried. What more am I going to do? I'm not going to send money over there because I might go to terrorism. Like, of course I'm not going to send money over there. Like, come on. Let's be real here. Let's be a little bit real. Robert says, if Brad ever shaves it, he's going to need a permit and a lawn service. Jeez, Willies, are we talking about my beard? What are we talking about here? What are you guys talking about? Let me in the chat. I want to hang out with you guys too. Sometimes it's funny because I host the show, but I feel like I'm left out of the chat sometimes. It's like I just want to be a part of it. If you're new here, if you're not in our chat and you're just listening, at least get the chat open. If you're not going to partake, at least get it open, because we have the best community. One, first of all, we have some of the funniest people in here, and two, they're just lovely people. And come hang out with us. Come hang out with them, and I'll try to join when I can. How about that? Like eavesdropping. What are you guys talking about? Hey, you. I love you guys. Let's do one more. Is it okay if we do one more before we leave? Jesus, I just saw the replay of what I just did. I'm so sorry. God damn. Brad, get out of the screen. Some of you have me on like plasma TVs, like 70-inch plasma TVs. Brad, scroll up. You just said scroll up to where? It's like an endless chat. She looks trans. Is that the one I'm supposed to look at? I'm not reading that, George. We're on freaking YouTube. George, get the hell over to Rumble. You can't be saying that stuff over here. Jesus, George. Like the beard, we love it. You're in California. You're going to need a permit. Oh, Jesus. Guys, thank you for the recap. I appreciate that. Where are we at here? I'm trying to find, I want to do one more here. You know, let's do this. I want to go through my page here. A couple things we went over. Again, being on a diet is racist. That was mind-boggling. Here's Bernie shouting a bunch of stuff about the billionaires.
You know, everybody wants to do well.
Whoa. Nazi salute? Whoa! Screen grab that. Hold on. Screen it. Everybody post it, and I'll do the reaction for it. There you go. Everybody get that? You need it again? I'll go again. Spread it out everywhere. Nazi salute Bernie. I can't believe it.
Everybody.
Oh, he's doing it again. He double did it. Did you see it? He double saluted. That's like deep Hitler stuff.
You know, everybody.
Oh, quadruple. I got to learn how to count. How many salutes can you do in a second, Bernie?
You know, everybody wants to do well. We all want to make money. We all want to live comfortably. That's natural. That's right. But these guys already have billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions. How much money do you need?
Come here. I'm out of coffee, but come here. You might have thought that was planned. That wasn't. I just thought he was going to be yelling at billionaires, not doing Nazi salutes. That's gone viral. I'm going to be working with that later when I get off work. Anyways, appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Hopefully I didn't miss any fan funding. I was really invested in some of these articles today. Appreciate everybody. Dark MAGA is later today. I plan on going live at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be on the Rumble Premium. We got to make sure we get our hours in this month, and the month is coming to a close here, so I got to make sure I get that in. And, well, exactly. Candy mentioned that Bernie Sanders is rich. He is a multimillionaire with multiple houses. Hit that like button just before you guys leave. We got to, look, we're rating somebody. I almost forgot. We're rating some. By the way, we've been getting a lot of, this is how off I am. I literally posted my Rumble in Rumble. I got to go over to YouTube. Sorry, folks. Here we go. Let's get you over. Come over to Rumble. We're going to raid somebody really quick. And, set you guys off well. Who should we raid today? Did you guys like Mike? Did Mike give us a shout out yesterday when I raided him? Who should we raid here? Who should we raid? Do you guys want to go back to MAGA mornings? I feel like we should go to somewhere else. Hey, thanks, Blackbird. Always appreciate you. Thank you. Great show this morning. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Dr. Mike gave, oh, sweet. He gave a shout out. Awesome. Okay, cool. I want to find kind of a, maybe, we'll do MAGA mornings again. You guys said you really enjoyed that chat last time, and so I'd love to give Mike a raid here again. All right, Patriots, take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys later today. We'll raid Mike again. We'll let it load. Bald Brad Army raiding once again. We're coming in hot.